Well, good Monday morning to you. Welcome to our Monday morning live edition of the Doctor's Nutrition Show. I'm your host, Jim Tabor, along with Drs. Jim and Janine Fox from Doctor's Nutrition, located on Callan Lorraine Road in Gulfport, south of Pass Road. We do this every Monday morning in case you're just tuning in for the first time. It is a live call-in show in which we pick a topic and we talk about that topic, and we invite you to call in and ask any questions regarding that topic. Or if you have any other health condition questions that you, that's what this show's about, trying to help you live a healthier lifestyle. Phone numbers are on the screen, 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. Today we're talking about something that happens to pretty much everybody.
Especially in South Mississippi.
Especially in the South, we are notorious for our allergies.
Yes.
Yes, we are. I mean, and allergies occur when your immune system reacts to a foreign substance like pollen, bee stings, pet dander,
mold
something
spores.
like mold. There's a list.
Food,
allergies, and everything.
You can actually be allergic to just about anything. I mean, different people are allergic to different things, and anything's possible.
Years ago, I had an allergy test when I was a teenager, and they one of the things they found that I was allergic to was something called HEPA. HEPA was at that time was a material that was made that they used in or you found it in a lot of furniture.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, well, I guess I have to sleep on the floor from now on.
That's right.
So, but anyway, but that's what we're talking about today. So what causes constant allergies?
It is your body's immune system. There's no doubt that the immune response is what actually causes an allergic reaction and a histamine reaction and all that good stuff. Yeah. There are, some people have allergies. There's different reasons people have allergies. People with immune deficiencies can have allergies due to their, problems like the immunoglobulin deficiencies definitely make allergies. You can have just allergies because the body reacts to something. And food allergies tend to come from leaky gut, which can be caused by multiple different things.
Yeah, it's I don't know that it's constant, but it's one of those things where we of course we have our seasonal allergies, which in South Mississippi last from January till December the 31st. That's allergy season, okay? Because people ask me a lot of times, they'll be in our store and they'll say, well, what is the allergy season here? Because if they're out of town or something.
Right.
What is the allergy season here? I was like, well, from like January 1st to December the 31st. In other words, this all year, because we have pollen, we have mold spores all the time.
Yeah.
The more rain we get.
Because we're in a rainy, moist, hot environment that breeds mold. So we are in a hot, moist environment.
Right.
I mean, even during the winter, most of the time it's not that cold. So it definitely affects the mold allergies.
And even in the summertime, people think, well, okay, well, everything's over, it's not raining, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and now it dries up, like last year when it got to be, close to 100 degrees for like long week spans, Now you got the dust to deal with.
Well, and you got the grass pollens come out later on. Right now, it's mostly the tree pollens that are out.
Yeah, that's why your vehicles are yellow when you walk out in the morning.
The tree pollens are out right now. Then when those then they might subside a little bit, and here comes the grass pollen.
Yeah.
So there is no doubt that people have, and that's called an inhalant allergy. So you have your inhalant allergies, which are things you breathe in. That's kind of your trees and grass and molds and flowers and all that kind of stuff. And then you have your allergies things that you ingest, which a lot of times is the food allergies. And you
might complain about that thunderstorm going on outside, but it cleanses the air.
Yeah, it does.
And you get that nice fresh smell when you get out there, but after a little while, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, it's going to last.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there are, like I said, but we are in an area. That's why we decided to do it on allergies this week, because you look around and there is the yellow everywhere. I mean, it is everywhere. And, and even little dogs get allergies this time of the year. My dog, if she's walking in the grass right now, she'll start chewing her feet. And so I, have to wash her feet more often. And
it doesn't bother my Chihuahua that much, but my Pomeranian, she'll get along and she'll start that and sneezing, and I'll just say, bless you, bless you.
So even the little dogs and even the little critters around actually are having allergies at this time of the year.
So how does someone find out what they are allergic to? There's so many things out there.
Well, I mean, there's all kind of allergy tests. There's the contact allergy test. And if you go to an immunologist, they can put the little skin prick things on your back and have contact you with 1,000 different things, and they can kind of determine from that, what your what kind of allergic reactions you have, but that's an IgE reaction.
Although we do more of the blood, even on inhalants. So there's a blood test that you can do that looks at your common allergens, the grasses, the molds, the plants. There's actually regional testing. So, when we do one in this area, you look at this region and it'll do cats and dogs. And believe it or not, dust mites are one of the biggest things we see in most people is dust mites. And then, animals, and then you eat in molds. And so, you can check all that. And then when it comes to, and that's an IgE test, which means a true immediate allergen. Your body can also have an IgG response, which is a delayed allergy. Now, you don't see a lot of the inhalant allergies with delayed testing, but we can do them through Genova. They do have a delayed allergy testing, but most people do the IgE on that front. On the foods, we actually have a really good test that does them all. It does the IgE, it does the IgG, it does the IgG4, it does the C3D response. So it's multiple immune responses they check to the foods. We get really good results with that as well. So you can do. There's definitely testing.
When they did mine years ago, again, when I was a teenager, they put the little drops on your back and prick you on your back.
Now they still do those. We don't, but they are
that's
still.
For the IgE
it
test,
still is used. But like I said, we do all blood testing is what we do to test for allergies. And some people have had the prick test and have a severe reaction to something. And I've seen them that they were like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Well, that's the normal thing to do, but you can have a reaction to what they prick you with if you have a severe enough allergy. When you do a blood test, of course, you're not going to have an allergy. They're just taking out your blood and testing the blood to the allergens.
Right.
So it's just where you're not going to have a reaction.
A lot more decisive.
Yeah. And like I said, when it comes to the foods, we can do the IgE alone testing, and we can even do just certain groups. Like somebody recently said, I have a shellfish allergy. I want to know if there's any of them that I can eat. And when we got it back, it was like, nope. It was every single shellfish that there was.
Really?
And that is not usually the norm. Usually there is one or two that you have a reaction to, and the other ones might be, nope. So if we can even do little groups like that. You can just do dairy. You can just do wheat. You can just do, if you say, I really think I have an allergy to this, we can check just that food.
What is the biggest allergy that you have found with, we got about 30 seconds left, so we'll address that question whenever we get back. Anyway, our phone lines are 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. We're talking about allergies this morning, those little boogers out there that are just driving your sinuses wild and your eyes. Give us a call. We're going to take a break. It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock on the Doctor's Nutrition Show. And welcome back. It's our Monday morning live edition of the Doctor's Nutrition Show. Our phone lines are open at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. What do you find here is one of the most common thing that people are allergic to food-wise?
Now, food-wise is probably gluten and wheat,
and dairy, maybe.
And dairy, and believe it or not, eggs.
Yeah.
Really?
Eggs come back high on a lot of people. And the test that we do.
We live in the South. We're not supposed to be allergic to eggs.
And
that's kind of a daily thing.
And it tests the yolk and the white separately, because some people can do the white and not do the yolk. Some people can do the yolk and not do the white. So it really depends on the person. So, and it really depends. Sometimes when we do food allergy testing, it's foods that are good for you that you're allergic to. It's not necessarily something that everybody else has. So that's different.
And speaking of eggs, farm-raised eggs, and then the ones you buy in the store.
Oh, you definitely want, if somebody has chickens, as long as they don't feed their chickens toxins, which a lot do, if you get the regular feed at the grocery store, you're really no different. If they just eat what's in the yard, that yard eggs are what's the best, where the chickens are not fed except for what's in the yard. That's the best. When they eat bugs and grass and stuff like that, that's the best eggs.
Those are the best.
Now, there are some you can buy at the grocery store that are cage-free, organic, and they're pretty good too. So.
And that's usually what I buy at the store if I don't have anybody. I don't have a supplier.
Actually, the one we like best at the grocery store, we do get yard eggs, but when we don't have them, we like ones called happy eggs.
Yeah.
And they really are. The yolk is darker.
It
is. The darker the yolk, the more nutrients that's in it.
They must be some happy.
But they
chickens,
are happy chickens because they got happy eggs. They really do. So that's the ones we buy locally if we buy eggs that aren't yard eggs.
Happy eggs.
Happy eggs. Yep. And
so what can someone do naturally to get rid of their allergies? Somebody was the best medicine for allergies, so we're talking about we're going to talk about what's the best natural thing to do.
We have a lot of different things for allergies.
I would say so, yeah. There's a lot of things. You know, a lot of things are naturally antihistamines.
Right.
You know, for instance, things that keep down that histamine response. And that's what's causing your itchy eyes and watery eyes and the scratchy stuff and so on. So that's what causes that. And if you know, things like, for instance, quercetin. And quercetin it's a flavonoid that's in a lot of foods, especially your sulfur-containing foods like onions and garlic, et cetera. And it grates. That's why you should eat that stuff. You know, it's really good for you. But those are the kind of foods that are things that it's in any. I promise you, it's in any of the good allergy formulations for natural medicine is quercetin. Mm-hmm. And it's a great antioxidant. I mean, the list goes on, but it's really, really good. And then there's other things that we do.
We do a lot of different things for allergies. We have our allergy support formula,
right,
which is a combination. It does have the quercetin in it, but it also has your nettles. It also has a blend for allergies, an herbal blend that is specifically for allergies. It has your feverfew. It has your bromelain.
Right.
So it has a lot of different things in it. Now, we also have a product called Dehist, which again is the quercetin, the sting, and nettle. It's very similar to our allergy support. Doesn't have quite as many things in it. But they're both good. And so we use the Dehist and the allergy support formula probably the most. Then when you get into, okay, what can you do for the congestion with allergies? And that's NAC, N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine is so good for congestion. And so when it comes to congestion with allergies, it does help dry you up. And so it does help dry and kind of clear up the mucus and things like that. Now, if somebody has an infection due to allergies, which you see a lot, if you have a lot of allergies, a lot of times it'll make sinus infections due to the consolidation of the mucus in the sinuses, and then you start getting an infection on top of it. We will use the alleviate, which is antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasite, so it actually is really good for sinuses. Mm-hmm. So we use all those for people with allergies. And then we even have our, what we call allergena, which is desensitization, which is technically, I mean, an allergy shot is desensitization. So you do the allergy shot and it makes you not as sensitive to those things. Now in the homeopathic forms, which is what we have in allergena, it's not tailored to you. When you do an allergy shot, they check your allergens and the stuff in it is just for you. These are for, you know, and for grasses and pollens and all that, it's regional.
Right.
Then then they have one that's actually for mold. There's one for cats and dogs. There's one for dust mites. There's one, you know, so there's different ones because I do take 3 of them. I take the one for dust mites, dogs and cats, and grasses, pollens, and trees because I took allergy shots my whole life growing up. Mm-hmm. So I do have allergies. So I take all 3 of those because it does help keep the allergies under control, but then I also do the allergy support formula every day. So it's, you know, because I would call severe allergies.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of, there's a lot of different things you can do. So don't think that there's nothing that you can do different. And we see a lot of people that come in with allergies.
You know, one thing that we found that works really well at home is a HEPA filter.
Yeah.
You know, that you get, you know, they're about that tall. You know, yeah, those HEPA, those things work great. Just, you know, you put it on, put it over in the corner, turn it on, forget about it, and change the filter every 3 months or so, whatever it is. And it's amazing.
Yeah. So that does help. Now, there's things you can do in your house that are very helpful. Putting the sheets on the bed or I shouldn't say they're under sheets, they're covers that actually keep the allergens from the mattress, especially if you have dust mite allergies, which like I said is probably one of the most common ones. Very common. You put those covers on and seal it, and that way you don't have to worry about the dust mites in the mattress and the pillows. So you can put things like that. You can use cheesecloth on your filters and the air conditioned vents. You can actually get electrostatic filters, which zap the dust as they come in. We have those too. So there's a lot of stuff you can do in your house, and even though opening your windows, and it's great for just letting in fresh air, it also lets in all the pollens for outside. So I never open a window because I have always had allergies. And that does make it worse. If you open your windows and you have pollen allergies, you're going to get all that pollen in your house. Yeah. So there's a lot of things you can do home-wise to actually help as well.
I got a caller with a question. Is dry eyes connected to allergies?
Possibly.
It can be.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times, There's no doubt that a lot of the remedies for allergies make dry eyes.
That's for sure.
You know, so your antihistamines can dry the eyes out some. So yes, allergies itself can do dry eyes, but also some of the treatments that you can do for allergies also make dry eyes. The NAC that I mentioned is the one thing we probably have that dries the eyes out more than anything if you take too high of a dose. A lower dose doesn't, but a high dose tends to dry the eyes. So, and dry eyes can be a lot of different problems too other than allergies. We always recommend making sure you do your omega-3s and even, you know, primrose oil if you actually have the dry eyes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
896-0713 or 800-349-0713. Our phone lines are open to you. We're talking about allergies this morning. Or if you have any other questions, you can pick up the phone and give us a call. It's 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with this week's special and our final segment. And welcome back. It's our final segment of this morning's show. It's 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and look at what this week's special is from Doctor's Nutrition.
Yeah, it's the allergy support formula that I talked about earlier. Like I said, it's good for definitely inhalant allergies, and there is no doubt that it does help. It's one that you can tell a difference pretty quick if it's going to work for you. You know, nothing's 100% for everybody, but it works really well. So if you get, you'll know in the first bottle if it's going to work for you. So it's not one that you have to take for 6 months before it makes a difference.
Right, right.
So it is a really good formula, and you either take 3 at one time a day or 3 twice a day, but you do want that 3 all at one time. I do tell people you don't want to spread 1 3 times a day. It's not enough at one time to make a difference.
Yeah.
All right. Question from a viewer. When getting blood work done for allergies, does that person have to fast?
No, they do not.
Nope.
Actually, any of the allergy testing is not fasting. Now, one thing there is about all our allergy testing, whether it's for inhalants or whether it's for food, you can't have taken like antihistamines 2 weeks prior because it's going to stop some of the reaction. You don't want to take steroids a couple weeks before. So there's a few medications and drugs that you can't take beforehand. I even have people stop the natural allergy stuff to make sure that, you know,
Well, you don't want a false reading.
you don't want a false reading. You don't want to pay for the test and then it not be right because you're taking something to suppress the reaction. So it does not have to be fasting, but there is that prep you have to do beforehand. And it does have to be done, especially the food allergy test has to be early in the day, and we don't do it on Fridays because it has to be overnighted to the company. Now, on just inhalant allergies, we do it through LabCorp, so it can be done Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
896-0713 or 800-349-0713. Our phone lines are open. It's our final segment of this morning's show. It's 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. If untreated, can allergies lead to some serious problems?
Well, just like she was, referencing earlier about the sinus infections. She, starts out with something like allergies, and the person really doesn't, seem to be having a problem. But the longer it drags out, the more prone you are to having an allergy, especially some of the fungal stuff. And a lot of people that take a lot of the, various corticosteroids and so on, nasal sprays and so on, that can lead you to that because that suppresses the localized immune system in the nose and the sinuses. And, those fungi just love to jump in there when they can and take, opportunity to.
Yeah, I mean, infections can get out of control. Infection would probably be one of the biggest things with allergies, but also headaches. I mean, severe headaches. That's one of the things we hear a lot of people with allergies is their headaches are debilitating. So you can even have allergies that trigger migraines. And so, yes, it can be very bad to actually not do something for your allergies.
Right.
And just overall health and the immune system being overwhelmed and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So if you do have an allergy, it's better to do something for it and, at least make you feel better. Have a better quality of health and life.
Yes.
So there's different allergy tests that you can go do.
Definitely.
Oh,
there's, like I said, we have so many different ones.
Yeah. There's a ton of them, and the one that we get so much of is that food allergy stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
We have so many.
Now, food allergies are one that if you find one, you can stay away from it and it stops.
Yeah.
I mean, inhalant allergies are harder in the fact that, you can't not walk outside.
Yeah.
It's impossible to eliminate dust 100%.
Yeah.
There's things like that are harder to do.
I found that out the hard way about being allergic to certain foods or whatever because I'll eat it and like 10, 15 minutes later my stomach's like, oh no.
Yep. And so foods, you definitely can stay away from the foods that show that there's a problem. I mean, there's some that are harder, and if you have a whole bunch, that's harder too, but you can do it.
What's really amazing about the food allergy testing that we do, a lot of people that do that test find out that it's foods that, like she said earlier, we're talking about, it can be something that's really good for you.
Yeah.
Take blueberries, for instance, or something like that. Avocados. We have a lot of people.
We have a lot of people come up positive for avocados for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
why.
really weird. But yeah, there's a.
I know. It doesn't have to be an unhealthy food.
No.
It just means it's a food that your body reacts to.
Yeah.
It's not about a food that's always bad for you. And what we do with ours, it'll give you a restricted diet. And some of the foods have to be eliminated and some of the foods have to be rotated. So some foods, if you only do it once every 3 days, it doesn't bother you. It's just if you do it repetitively and get too much of it, then there will be a response. So those are your kind of some of the lower allergies. But that allergy, the downside of that allergy test is it's not cheap. It is $450. So it is not not a cheap test, but it's a very good test. Some of the inhalant testing is lower, and if you just do 1 or 2 things, it's really inexpensive.
Yeah.
So it really just depends.
Yeah.
All right. Does Omega XL help improve fibromyalgia, and do you carry Omega XL?
I think that's a type of.
It's actually a type of Perna.
Krill, is it?
It's a
No,
it's a Perna.
Okay.
And Perna is great for joints.
Yeah.
It's probably not the first thing I would use for fibromyalgia. We do not carry it because we have our own Perna Max, which I think is very superior over Omega XL, and I've had people that took ours after taking that and they said it did work better. So for joint pain, and if you're fibromyalgia, a lot of fibromyalgia is muscle pain, but if you have the joint pain with it, yes, it does help joint pain. But if it's mostly muscle, there's other things that we do. And there's a lot of things with fibromyalgia patients that you probably need. And we always do the lab work on fibromyalgia patients because we got to see what they're deficient in and we got to see what else might be part of it.
Yeah, there's so many things.
There's a lot more factors than just joint pain. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that deal with fibromyalgia.
Yeah, and that's usually muscle pain. I mean, because look at what fibromyalgia means is fibrous tissue in the muscle.
Right.
And with pain, because algia is pain, Maya is muscle. So, but some people say fibromyalgia, but then they have a lot of joint pain, which may or may not be just straight fibromyalgia. I see a lot of misdiagnosis in fibromyalgia cases.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be, a lot of times it's autoimmune.
Yeah.
And when it's autoimmune, we definitely have things that we help autoimmune, and we actually, that's our topic next week. Just segue. We didn't even come up with that question.
How about that?
Yeah, but next week we are going to be talking about autoimmune diseases, and I do think fibromyalgia many times is a symptom of something autoimmune.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so be sure you tune in next Monday morning.
Yep.
Does allergies cause bronchitis?
Definitely they can.
And they for sure can aggravate it.
And that can be one of the really bad things. And I mean, somebody asked earlier about, or you asked earlier about allergies be dangerous.
Yeah.
That's one of the times that can really be dangerous. It's an anaphylactic reaction, closing down the airway.
A few weeks ago, my allergies started and everything, and it
Yep.
got worse and worse. I finally went to the doctor. She said, you've got bronchitis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bronchitis is just inflammation of the bronchioles, and we do have something called bronchotone. So we even have something for that.
Yeah.
That when that does happen, when the allergies do cause bronchitis, there's something called bronchotone.
And it's more common than you think.
When allergies, when we do some of the allergy testing, if it's a really high class of allergies, you do need to talk to your doctor about getting an EpiPen. Because, I mean, if you have a severe enough allergic reaction, it can close down the airways.
Yeah.
Now that can be life-threatening. I didn't even.
That's a 911
Yeah,
type
that's
thing.
actually the dangerous ones.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. It was about time for us to wrap up the show this morning.
Yep.
And again, you can find a lot of great information at doctorsnutrition.com, as well as on their Facebook page. And be sure you check out their podcasts on YouTube. Be sure you go in there and like it. Sign up for it. Doesn't cost you a dime.
All right.
And get all kinds of great information that they have on there on YouTube. They've got that updating on weekly basis.
Weekly, yeah.
A lot of great stuff on there as well. Anyway, we will see you again next Monday morning. Next Monday morning show will be pre-recorded, even though it is on autoimmune system, but because we're taking the day off. So, so we'll see you again in a couple of weeks here. Have a great day.
For more information on highlighting your business and services on Healthy Living South Mississippi, contact Jim Tabor at 896-1313.